welcome to Esports Go. I'm Matt Brown.
And I'm Justin Gillerman. We begin with a look back at the big matches in the Overwatch League yesterday. And our first one, well, we had Overwatch fans excited. It was the one that people had circled on their calendars.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm talking about the New York XL versus the Seoul Dynasty.
Huge.
And boy, this game did not disappoint at all. Let's take a look at the highlights and see how it all unfolded. So much action, but we're going to start with the tiebreaker to decide who is the top dog in the league. Meko and the XL kick it off on Ilios first. He jumps into the Dynasty, taking out a few members. He's hungry for more though, and he chases after the Pharah as well. They control the point first. The Dynasty get a pick on Mono, but that doesn't stop the XL. They take the fight to the Dynasty, out-damaging them and pushing them off the point again to hold it long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Munchkin finally opens the game up for the Dynasty. He takes out the Zenyatta and lands a pulse bomb that hits two more XL members. Fleta runs for his life though as Mono of the XL chases the Dynasty off the point. He takes out a few members of the Dynasty before retreating back to the point. The Dynasty try to stall it out, but they are instantly melted by the focus fire of the XL before they can do too much damage. The XL have round one. In round two, Fleta has some key picks to secure the point first for the Dynasty. The Dynasty do not hold it for too long though. A self-destruct from Miko of the XL into the Dynasty supports allow the XL to get a quick and easy capture of the point for themselves. Since the XL do not have a Widowmaker and the Dynasty do, their defense is super aggressive. Sabio B gets a great kill on Fleta while Libero goes to town with his Dragon Blade. Once again though, the XL are thwarted from the lack of Widowmaker. Fleta gets a pick off on Jonex and the Dynasty fall into the capture point. The XL recapture moments after due to some key pickoffs of their own. The Dynasty try to stall it out, but the focus fire and communication of the XL is just insane on this map. Libero seals the deal with a Dragon Play into Fleta in the back line. The XL have done it. They win round two in the series against the Seoul Dynasty. The final score, XL 3, Dynasty 2. Oh my goodness, Matt. This was just pure insanity.
Insane.
All the hype leading up to the game, and in my opinion, this game exceeded those expectations. It might have been, if not the best, one of the best games of the entire league so far. That first map taken by the XL, but then it looked like Seoul got their number. But I've learned one thing about this XL team. They can create something out of nothing, and that's what they did to win this game.
There's a reason why they're tops in the standings, and I definitely agree, Justin, that this was not only the match of the night, but one of the matches of the year. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Seoul bounces back because they're going to play the London Spitfire on Saturday, and I'm going to say it can happen, but it'll be interesting because the Spitfire themselves are looking for a signature win to put them back on track for a Stage 2 playoff. Next, we take a look back at a matchup between two struggling teams, the Boston Uprising and the Dallas Fuel. Both need a victory here. Let's see what happened. The Fuel find themselves in a must-win situation on map 3, Kings Row. Down 2 maps, they need the next 3 to get a win in week 4. The Uprising are on attack first, and the point A for them is nearly flawless. The Fuel are completely caught off guard. The Uprising get right into the back line of the Fuel, and the remaining defenders are forced back. The Fuel never make it to a second attempt at defending the point. There's no stopping the Uprising momentum now. Not even a barrage from AKM. It is instantly countered by Dream Casper. He is also taken out for the deep, but unlike the Fuel, the rest of the Uprising follow up with their own ultimates, forcing the Fuel to retreat again. On the final push, Striker is blinking all around the payload and getting picks left and right. There is no one left to defend in the last few yards as the Uprising cruise to an easy push. The Fuel need to respond on their attack now. AKM shells down the Uprising from above, but the rest of the Fuel jump into a small hallway. They are taken out into close quarters by the Uprising without assistance from the air, and the rest of the Fuel are forced back. Gamsu continues to shine as a Winston player. He chases and takes down 2 support players of the Fuel and then proceeds to take out the remaining Fuel members who are retreating from the first point. In the final seconds, AKM goes for the hero Dragon Blade, but he is instantly shut down by the Uprising. The Fuel go out with a whimper, not a bang, and the Uprising go on to win the 4th map to secure the 4-0 sweep over the Fuel. Good win for the Uprising, but my goodness, the Fuel weren't even close.
Nope.
You gotta think that the distractions have fully gotten to them, and I don't know what's gonna happen to get them over the top next.
I said it last week and I'll say it again this week. There's nothing in my mind that can change the way the Fuel are right now. Releasing XQC was one move, but it didn't have any effect on their team's performance. Same mistakes. It doesn't even look like they're on the same communication line right now. The Fuel are just a mess, for lack of a better word. The The Philadelphia Fusion are coming off a disappointing Week 3 and are looking to bounce back against a Shanghai team looking for just one win. Did they get it? Let's find out. We're taking you to map 1, Volskaya Industries, where the Fusion are on attack first. They pressure the Dragons off the point, while Snillo and Fraggy keep the Dragons pushed out. The rest of the team secures an easy point A capture. The Fusion get the ball rolling into point B, but Snillo misses a game-ending stick on the Dragons' Diva. The Fusion are pushed out after only getting a single tick. The entire front line of the Dragons is taken out, but meanwhile, EQO sneaks behind the back line to take them out as they make their way to the point. It's not necessary, however, because the Dragons move too slow and don't make it to the point to contest it. The Dragons need a solid attack here to bring the game to extra rounds. It looks like they'll be able to get a quick capture on point A, but the Fusion's offensive players don't want to give it up that easy. Snillo and EQO jump into the Dragons and go ham with their ultimates. The Dragons are killed and forced completely off the point. This is as close as the Dragons get for most of the round. They are constantly being chased away after the Fusion secure a few picks. In the end, the Dragons' final attack is easily dispatched. The Fusion have won in a pretty dominant fashion. They will go on to win the next 3 maps, securing the 4-0 sweep. Interesting game, but no doubt in my mind that the Fusion were going to win this one. Shanghai played hard, but the Fusion were just a little better, and they showed. Fraggy had to be the player of the game for me in this one.
Yeah, and maybe this is the match that gets the Fusion going, gets them over the hump and on a roll. But for Shanghai, it doesn't get any easier for them to end stage 2. Listen to this, Justin. Here are the next 3 opponents: New York, Houston, and London.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know they're improving, but this will really test their mental toughness.
Ouch.
Now let's switch gears over to everyone's favorite segment, the Heroes and Zeros. My hero is Gamsu of the Boston Uprising. He shows everyone what it means to be a great tank in this league. He was a great playmaker last night and helped guarantee the 4-0 sweep over the Fuel.
My hero of the day, and at the risk of showing a little bit of bias, it has to be Sabio B of the New York XL.
You are an XL fan, that's true.
He should be everyone's hero, though. He was a great player throughout, but he really shined on that tiebreaker map. He destroyed everyone in Ilios, only dying twice. He was unstoppable.
Now, my 0 is the 3rd match of the night. Yeah, the Fusion and the Dragons, because it had to follow up probably one of the best matches of Overwatch history, the XL and Dynasty. So that was a little tough act to follow. All right, hopefully this act was not hard to follow for us for the rest of the show. We'll be right back here on Esports Go. Hey, we're back. Here's your Esports Go news. Red Bull announced the opening of their 2nd Red Bull Gaming Sphere in London, scheduled for the end of the month. It will be the largest public esports studio in the UK and will offer hands-on opportunities for fans and players alike. The venue will house tournaments as well as events that can allow fans to meet their favorite pros. There's going to be a racing zone with the VR headset, a PC zone for 6v6 matches, and even a spectator zone where people can watch a 190-inch video wall. With the one in Tokyo and that opened last month, that's 2 esports hubs in 2 months. So this is only the beginning.
The Arlington Convention Center will be receiving a $10 million makeover that will make it the first esports venue in Texas. It will hold up to 2,000 spectators and be adaptable to host large and small events throughout the year. The space should also be appealing to non-esports lovers. The facilities will be able to host several tech-related events a year, including TED Talks. The proposal sets the arena to open the fall of this year.
All right, now there's been some buzz in the air about a guy that just started working at PUBG. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about, former Blizzard employee Alex Penn has gone on to bigger and better things and tweeted Monday about his new job, saying, "First day, happy face," and put down his job title as Esports League Ops Manager, PUBG Santa Monica. Yes, that's right, League Ops Manager. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has long been quiet about whether they intend to build a central league for organized play. This might have been a big hint. Third-party tournaments have been the only way that pros could compete, and that's all nice, but a league from PUBG Corp itself? That will take care of all the noise. Now, of course, don't expect it anytime soon, but at least we know where their head's at, right?
Coming up after the break, we'll preview today's Overwatch League matches, so stay right here. You're watching The Go.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's Overwatch League matches. First up, it's the Shanghai Dragons and the New York XL. Can't get any more lopsided than this, unfortunately. New York just proved to be the best team in the league, and Shanghai did the opposite from yesterday's matches. This is an uphill battle for the Dragons if I've ever seen one, Justin.
Yeah, I think the only way the XL get caught here, and it would be a David versus Goliath thing if it happened, is if New York is still on that emotional high that they got after beating Seoul last night. In my opinion, New York is still the best team in the league. It's going to be hard for Shanghai to fight through this one. But in our second matchup of the day, we have the Florida Mayhem versus the LA Valiant, which is a very interesting matchup here. Valiant looking good enough to win here. So what do they need to do to avoid this upset?
Yeah, the way they've been beaten lately is that teams will pick off soon first their main DPSer, and the rest are easier to handle. So someone else has to step up and pose a threat to open it up for Soon to do his thing. All right, capping it off here are the Houston Outlaws and the LA Gladiators. A very interesting matchup here. All we have to do is look at each of these teams' previous matches, and it sets up the narrative. Houston barely squeaked by this Florida Mayhem, and LA prevailed in a 3-1 victory over the London Spitfire of all teams.
Yeah, so far the Outlaws are underachieving here in this stage too, and on the flip side, the Gladiators are kind of overachieving. We've seen Houston not being able to find answers to heroes like Lucio or a strong Tracer player, and while Hydration is going to give the Gladiators that, this will be an interesting one to see. I think the Gladiators actually win.
All right, that does it for us today on The Go. We'll see if your prediction happens and comes true. But if you've got the time in the meantime, visit our website, challengemedia.tv, for all your gaming news.
Also, check us out and follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll be here all week with your news and highlights. Thanks for watching Esports Go. We'll see you next time.